Yo, what up, vendors? I got some tips and tricks for you today, including the most important one of all. Let's get it. On this podcast, we dive into the world of being a vendor, add a little BTS, some DIY, tons of tips and tricks, and every now and then, we chop it up with vendors from around the country. Welcome to the vendor booth. Right out the gate, this is one of the most important tips, if not the most important tip I'm going to give you, which is the list. Now, sounds crazy. Yes, I'm saying a checklist. You'd be surprised. It's common sense, or it seems like common sense, like a no-brainer. However, most people try to prepare for these shows off the top of the head. The week of the event, there's so much stuff running through your head. There's so many things to do. There's so many things to double check. There's so much to remember. You will drive yourself crazy without the list. Creating a checklist is like creating a cheat sheet or inserting a cheat code into your system. If you prepare your checklist properly, if you list all the stuff you're trying to do, all the stuff that you want to bring, and follow along, you pretty much can guarantee that you're going to walk in there as best prepared as possible when you show up to the event. My checklist is pretty freaking long. So it's about 3 or 4 pages at this point. I add items to my checklist all the time. Even when I don't have shows, there's something that might pop into my head and I just add it into the checklist, right? That's the beauty of using an app versus pen and paper. You could easily lose pen and paper. An app, that's with you all the time on the phone and on the desktop. I used to use an app called Checklist for my checklist. But now I use an app called ClickUp. And it's just a running list of items for the show. I got items on my list that you might not even be thinking about. So I'm gonna share 5 of my most important items, and I think they should be on your list as well. So here we go. Number 1, footwear. Hands down, one of the most overlooked items when it comes to this vendor thing. You're gonna be standing on your feet anywhere from 8 to 10 hours during a show. And that's 1-day show. If you got a 2-day show, you double it. A 3-day show, you triple it, right? And your feet need to be super comfortable. So you got to find some comfortable shoes. Another tip would be, or bonus tip would be, to get yourself some inserts, like them Dr. Scholl's inserts, comfort inserts. And that way your feet will be like they're walking on pillows. Number 2 is change. We're talking about 1s, 5s, 10s, and 20s, right? I like to get my change a couple of days before the event, so I tend to hit up the bank a couple of days before, and I usually get like $300 or $400 in that range to carry with me. Obviously, you break down the numbers how you see fit, so you might get like 21s and 10 5s, or whatever you pick. Number 3, swiper. I know, seems like it's a no-brainer, but a lot of people forget to bring their credit card swiper, or may not have one at all. And accepting credit cards at your show is a must. Like, you have to be able to accept credit card payments. What they doing nowadays, some people use QR codes, Venmo, Zelle, PayPal. I personally use Square, because Square has tap to pay built into the app, and obviously your phone has to work with tap to pay. But a credit card swiper is a must. Number 4, BYOBB. Bring your own brown bag. What I personally do is I bring a cooler with my own lunch, because food at the event is usually very expensive. The food trucks are very expensive to buy from. You could easily blow $50 or $60 buying lunch, or breakfast, lunch, and dinner, sometimes if you're there late at these events. Number 5, breath mints. Right, breath mints, aka peppermints. You want to be mindful and considerate of people's sense of smell. Period. You're going to be talking a lot throughout the day, so you want to make sure that your breath is fresh. Also, if you buy enough peppermints, you could actually set them up as a free item to give away and draw people into your booth with them. But definitely, peppermints should be on your list. So those are 5 items that are on my checklist, and those are must-haves for me. You might want to add them to yours, or I suggest you add them to yours. Your list is going to be a little bit different from mine, as it should be. And you'll see as you continue on your journey, you're going to add more and more things to your list. So make sure you make the list. All right? Peace.